You know, having watched the events unfold this week on television, I don't think anybody can deny that we are under attack. But I think very few people realize how deep the attack is. For example, do you know that the average age of an American farmer is 58 years old? Where are we going to be in 10 years? Well, only 1.3% of the population are farmers. There's hardly any farmers today that are less than 47 years old. Over 75, and we think that's important, but eating is important to me. Think about this, clean water is important. Over 75% of the people who hold water and wastewater plant licenses in the state of Georgia are they're within 5 years of retirement. The failure rate on those tests are 97%. It takes 5 years to even get qualified to take one of those tests. And the only reason we're not in crisis mode now, in other words, having to shut water plants down, is because many of the people that have reached retirement age have been convinced to stay on for a few more years. And the really troubling part about farmers and those that work in water and wastewater fields, in both those jobs, it takes years and years to gain the experience to learn how to do that job, don't it? You can't just get off the truck and start on day one. It takes years to learn experience like that. And no one's entering the field to get the experience. As a nation, we're like a man jumping off a building, not worried about the sudden stop that's going to happen at the end of the journey. We say, what has caused this? Well, I heard a joke this week. It's really not a joke, maybe a statement. It kind of explains it. There was three guys talking, a surgeon, an architect, and a politician, about whose profession was the oldest. So the surgeon said, well, obviously surgery is the oldest profession because the Bible says that God took a rib out of Adam, and he made Eve out of it. The architect said, well, that's not true, because the Bible says that, first off, the world's in chaos. So it took an architect to bring all that together. The politician said, both of y'all are wrong, because who do you think created the chaos in the first place? And I thought about it. That's very, very true out there. Listen, our founding fathers were not politicians. They were businessmen, farmers, printers, carpenters, candle makers, and the like. Now we have something that is called, I'm going to say this right, we have something that's called professional politicians. People who have, listen very carefully, people who have never had a real job in their whole life. They've never gone out anywhere and had a real job anywhere. And yet they run against people who have real jobs. They look right and they sound right. Because after all, think about this. Is it not the goal of every one of us to not have to work? I mean, think about it. Everybody here goes to work every day. Or you have gone to work every day and ain't retired. But really, it's your goal not to work. My grandfather said this one time to me. He said, there's a fine line between being lazy and being sorry. He said, after all, the truth is, we'd both rather be fishing right now, wouldn't we? And I said, yes, sir, Papa, we would rather be. Think about that right there. America doesn't realize the ones who are creating the chaos, and they're doing it really out there on purpose. Think about it. We don't have anybody today. We don't admire hard work anywhere in any field. That's why I use the wastewater and the farming. We don't admire hard work out of anybody anymore. Kids don't aspire to go out and get a job where they actually have to work and even do anything hard. They want a job where they can take it easy. I read something the other day, they wanted to cut the work week back to 35 hours a week. I said, man, that'd be great, 35 hours. But you know what? I couldn't ever make enough money 35 hours a week to live. Could you? I couldn't do that. They want to cut the work week back. They're doing all these different things. They are creating problems. Listen, and they're creating problems on purpose. They're creating this chaos on purpose. Their goal is power and control. Because work, as I said, work is no longer valued. I thought about this. Think about this. I said Americans are more dangerous than you think this morning. Where are we going to be when all the workers quit working? Because think about it. I said a minute ago, the average farmer is 58 years old. The average age people who do what I do is 65 years old. 65 years old. Where are we going to be